Okay, prophecy number one that I wanted to go over is a lot of people will tell you, and you maybe have even repeated it yourself without really knowing, a lot of people will say the Bible is an archaic book. You know, we're way too advanced for the Bible, and you know, the Bible is just, it's an old book. It's a good book, but it's an old book, and we're too advanced for it. Well, the prophecies in the Bible would reject that idea, that it's an old book, because God, who wrote this book, can see the end from the beginning, and we're going to see that through some of these prophecies. So this verse I wanted to show in this one about people saying the Bible is an old book and it's out of date and things. Look at Daniel chapter 12 in the Old Testament. Daniel chapter 12, verse 4. And it says, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased." So many shall run to and fro. It's kind of interesting. Daniel wrote, I don't know the exact time, I want to say like around 600 BC. So 600 BC, so 2,600 years ago, Daniel wrote this book, the book of Daniel. And it says there, many shall run to and fro. And if you think about today, with all the different means of transportation and things we have, I would say many are running to and fro today, which is kind of interesting. But the even more interesting thing there is at the end it says, end of the verse it says, knowledge shall be increased. And knowledge definitely has been increased as far as technology is concerned. 50 years ago, if you wanted to know something about something, you had to either have a book about it or know somebody who knows about it that you could call, or write to a expert on a subject or something, or check out a library book or something like that. Now we have the internet, and if you want to know anything about anything, not that it's necessarily always true information, but if you want to research something and know something, you can get on the internet and look that up. And so knowledge has been increased greatly. And so it's just kind of weird. How did this passage of scripture that was written 2,600 years ago, roughly, how did he know that knowledge would be increased? It's just kind of an interesting thing.